Hello, my name is Gretel Rodríguez and I am an art historian. I specialize in the art, architecture, and archaeology of ancient Rome. The project that I'm working on here at the Kogut Institute for the Humanities explores religion and art in the Roman Empire, looking at the architecture and ritual practices associated with water sanctuaries. These were places where a natural spring or a lake became the focus of worship for one or more divine beings. These water sanctuaries appear all throughout the Roman Empire, from ancient Britain to Spain to the Italian peninsula, and also in the Greek world and North Africa. My project is comparative, so I look at material from all of those places and consider in what ways they are similar or different and what changes they experienced over the centuries. The principal question that guides my research is that of cultural change. I want to know how were these sacred spaces transformed with the Roman conquest of the Mediterranean world, and in what ways did local people adapt their religious practices to the social and political changes brought about by these historical events. The majority of water sanctuaries were already in use when the Romans arrived around the 2nd century BCE, and many of them continued to be used well into the Middle Ages, but were drastically transformed over the centuries. I consider several types of material evidence and ritual practices associated with water sanctuaries. For example, I explored the architecture that was typical of these religious spaces, which often incorporated sacred pools and fountains. I also considered the deities that were specific of each location. Among them are gods and goddesses closely associated with water, such as the nymphs, but there are also personifications of specific water features that were present only in a single location. With the Roman conquest, these native deities were often joined by Greco-Roman gods such as Apollo and Hercules. My project looks at the representations of these deities in reliefs, in statues, and in paintings. The idea of healing was often connected with water sanctuaries, since natural springs are often seen as having medicinal powers even in modern times. We find sanctuaries where worshippers came to find remedies for a multiplicity of ailments, and there were spaces for healing while sleeping, for consulting with a specialist, and for offering ritual sacrifices to healing deities such as Asclepius and Hygeia. Votive offerings were an important part of water sanctuaries, and we find thousands of them, especially body parts represented in wood, clay, or stone, as a means to ask the gods for healing and well-being, or to give thanks after a healing has been performed. Some of these are very interesting and unique, such as deposits of hundreds of votive body parts made of wood, which were found in the spring of the Seine River in France near Dijon. Wood is only rarely preserved in the archaeological record, so their finding in the 1970s represented a major breakthrough in our understanding of ancient votive practices associated with water. The next step in my research is to continue collecting information for this project, which will eventually become a book. I have so far conducted research in the UK, in the south of France, and in some parts of Italy, so I will continue my fieldwork in Rome and in Greece this coming summer after completing my fellowship here at the Kogut Institute.